What's up? What's up? What's up? Welcome to Auburn ADDICTS-TV. This is another episode of Have You Heard, aka Auburn News Today. DC Wolf. I got the man himself, Nick Frazier from the Water Cooler Talk podcast, ladies and gentlemen. That is the coolest podcast in your ears. All the Auburn fans come in. Had to do a pre-recorded session today. Why? My nephew playing the wedding doing football season. But it's okay. Well, I gotta go to the wedding, y'all. But we had to get this content out here what Nick say about the game. We're gonna talk a little basketball. Gotta deal with the Alabama fans next week, the next 364 days, y'all. It's joy. We're gonna bring some joy to you, hopefully. All Auburn fans need joy right now. Nick,
yeah, they do.
I need some joy right now. Hopefully, man, while this is going on, when we post this live, pre-recorded, of course, I'm gonna be in the comments myself, man. You know what I'm saying? Just let that soak in.
We're watching ourselves in the future. That's what we're doing.
We say what, Nick?
We watching ourselves in the past, in the future.
Yeah, I love it. I love it.
I
love it, man. Jeez, man. All right, Nick. Let's get right to it, man. Let's get right to it. You had a few hours to just kind of think over this game, man. Any new thoughts on this game? On this Iron Bowl, man. Any new thoughts?
Man, I'm sitting here just looking at the notes that I wrote down. I don't even know if I want to go over. I'm just gonna do this, man. I'm gonna say this, man.
Please go over, Nick.
I sit here and I look at this game and I'm like, how did Auburn lose this game? How did Auburn lose this game? Because you look at the stats, right? You look at the stats, and I stated this on our show on Wednesday. And shout out to B Sharp and Sharp Shoes Podcast. He was like, stats don't matter. They don't matter when it come to games. I was like,
that's wild.
They kind of do.
They do count.
Like they kind of matter a little bit because that's how you game plan, and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But in his defense, and I hate up doing this, but in his defense, he kind of got a point in this particular situation. When you see a team that created 4 turnovers,
okay,
team that was in the red zone multiple times, at least 5 times, and in that red zone, you only come out with 6 points in the red zone.
Unbelievable, man.
Coupled on top of the fact that you were plus in the turnover margin. I don't understand, and I'm looking at the stats, and I did not watch the game, and I saw that. I will sit here and be like, how did this team lose the game?
Okay.
If I'm just looking at the stat line, I'm looking at the stat sheet, and I didn't watch the game, and I'm looking at it, and I'm like, how did this team lose the game, bro? You created 4 turnovers. You was in the red zone this many times. You only got 6 points, but you only got 6 points out of the red zone trips.
Okay.
How did you lose this game? Like, I don't understand.
Okay.
And I'm like, I'm still trying to wrap my mind around this. I'm still trying to understand this because this is just going on the trend of the season of Auburn having a chance to be in the game and win the game. But for some reason or another, you end up losing that game. And this one we lost the game by 2 touchdowns. We lost by 14 points. And I'm just like, what is the problem? What is the problem? Like, I'm still trying to put my hand on. We can sit here and say, well, Peyton Thorne did this. Well, we can sit here and say Peyton Thorne didn't throw an interception in the game.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, he did throw it. That's what I'm saying. He didn't throw an interception in the game until the game was somewhat almost locked up. There was no way that Auburn could have come back to win the game at the time when he threw that interception.
So if you're saying if they would have drove and got a touchdown on that, they couldn't kick an onside kick and tied the game up.
Nah, when he threw that interception,
You saying they
was like
down,
a minute left in the game, and they didn't have any timeouts. They had no timeouts left in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Now the interception on the drive where Jarquez Hunter threw the interception.
Mm-hmm.
If they would have scored there,
Right.
Yeah. There would have been a chance.
Gotcha. I got you.
And you could have, you could have kicked it. You could have kicked the field. You could have kicked the onside kick.
Mm-hmm.
And you had 2 timeouts at that time to where you could have got on defense, got a 3 and out, and you probably would have got the ball back with like a minute 59 seconds left in the game to drive the field to go score.
Mm-hmm.
But when he got the ball back, I mean, after that, I mean, he didn't have no time, and he had no timeouts. So I'm sitting here, and I'm like, man, I honestly don't understand. Well, I do understand, and I know why.
Okay.
I gotta put this loss on the offensive coaching staff.
I agree.
I gotta put this loss on the offensive coaching staff. And I was trying to go back and forth, and I was trying to find a way to where I can blame Peyton Thorne for this, but I can't.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I have to put this loss on the offensive coaching staff and primarily on Hugh Freeze's shoulders. That's why I'm gonna land that on this one. That's why I gotta land that on this one. And I gotta say this: Hugh Freeze is gonna have to find a way. He's gonna have to go find some courage. He's gonna have to go talk to the wizard and figure out what it is that he got to do in order to get back his mojo so he can understand the feel of the game and how to call plays in the game. That's just how I see it.
Okay. Let me ask you this as far as stats concerned, because I think stats do count. And I go with your first thought. And let me say this: when you're talking about stats, okay, you gave me all the stats you gave me, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, answer this question. If you gave me all of those stats and you gave me the stats for Auburn's propensity to lose games this year and tell me that Peyton Thorne is quarterback and along with Hugh Freeze is calling plays in the red zone, would you think we have won that game looking at the stats? If you add those stats in it, if you say, yeah, you got these stats, and then you tell me, but Peyton Thorne is your quarterback, Hugh Freeze is calling plays, and Auburn is the football team, I'll be like, yeah, we probably lost. Because you excluding those other stats of Auburn's propensity to throw games away this particular season.
I see where you're coming from with that.
You got to add those stats in it too. What's Auburn's propensity to lose a game this season?
That's correct.
Very high.
You got a point there.
It's very high that they will throw a game away that they should win. So if you gave me them stats and you told me Peyton Thorne my quarterback and it's Auburn, I'll be like, yeah, we probably lost that game. I know it, and I'll be like, okay, it probably sounds unreasonable, but we probably lost, knowing that you giving me those things to add to my statistical categories. That's what I will say. If you add those things to it, man, bro, I'm bewildered too. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm bewildered too. I'm like, man, I don't know how you get in the red zone that many times, don't score, and I don't understand how you get that many turnovers and don't score on turnovers. It's perplexing, dude.
It got to be this has to be like one of those one out of like 1,000 chances that it happens, because most of the other time it end up working in your favor. Like if you get a turnover in the game, if you are on the plus side of turnovers in the game, more than likely you're going to win that game because you getting extra possessions on offense, you taking possessions away from them where they can score. And this just had to be one of those 1 in 1,000, 1 in 100,000 moments to where it just didn't fall in Auburn's favor. And I'm just like, it just is like, why does Auburn have to have that though? Like, what is it? What is there like a curse on Auburn or what's going on? Like, it don't make any sense, man. Nick, like, I don't get it.
Nick, I was like, I don't know if you see the Travis Hunter thing. With him and his girlfriend on the field.
After the game.
They say somebody zoomed in, and I don't know. You tell me, and the chat can tell me what they saw. Asia was telling me somebody zoomed in, and he was like, "What I do? What I do?" That's what I'm asking, Nick. I'm asking you, Freeze and Auburn. What did I do to deserve this, man? What did I do, man? Nick, what did I do? What did I do, man?
Well, maybe Auburn had a bunch of close calls back in the day, and maybe we just got to go through our little.
So you saying this is retribution for the prayer Jordan hair,
okay, all that. This is probably retribution for all that. I don't know, man. It's just it's weird, man. But it's weird though.
It's been like that the whole season, Nick. It's been like that the whole season, dude. It's been like that. Think of the Oklahoma game. If you gave me the stats for the Oklahoma game, dude, you have the pick six at the end of the game. You had the kicker miss a field goal, reset, and then miss it again. Dude.
Yeah.
They came in with a freshman quarterback, dude.
Who ain't even starting right now. He ain't even starting
right now.
That's crazy.
And you like somehow lost that game, man. You hold Pavia to what was he like? It was probably his lowest completion percentage the whole year, man. Like with 9 of 22, it was something ridiculous, man. It might have been less than that, but it was something ridiculous, man. You hold him to his lowest production of the year, and you still and in that game, you give Jacquez Hunter the ball 12 times in that game. And in this game, you give Jacquez Hunter the ball 13 times. You saying, man, the best running back in the SEC, man, in the best conference in the nation. And you give this guy the ball 13 times, man. It is baffling, dude. On that end, man, I'm beyond frustrated. You know what I'm saying? But I told you I've conceded that. I'm beyond frustrated, man. So I'm just kind of like, before I just like really like throw my hands in the air on this thing, it's just like I'm gonna have to just give Hugh Freeze a chance to run his offense with his quarterback. So that's what I'm holding out on. It's kind of, think about this, man. This is what I thought about. And you tell me, chat, y'all tell me what y'all think about this. Telling Hugh Freeze to run Jacquez Hunter the amount of times we want him to, and to be consistent, like chopping a tree down. That's what we're looking for. The consistency to chop a redwood down, man. Okay, the first 2 blows, bro, you ain't nothing happening. Maybe there's 1,000 blows, but eventually, man, you're gonna chop it down if you keep chopping. Right. Okay. So we want him to have that kind of consistency on offense, right? With the running game. But I think it's more like asking Mike Leach, rest in peace, to run a power football offense. That's just not in his wheelhouse.
Not at all.
And it's not in his thinking to do it. So it's like asking Mike Leach to line up in a 2-back set and run power football. He'll be like, dude, are you serious? I'm not doing that. I don't care what personnel I have, man. I'm about to go 5 wide and we're going to run hurry up. You're going to run this air raid. So I think that's what Hugh Freeze wants to do, line up with big receivers, prolific receivers, with a good quarterback. He doesn't have to be a prolific quarterback, just a good quarterback that can run the system, put prolific receivers around him, and put some good offensive alignment around him, and then go to work. That's what I think Hugh Freeze want to do. So I'm gonna have to let him,
Pac-12 football.
Yeah, exactly.
He want to play Pac-12 football, man. Yes. He want to get out to like a 21, 28-7, 21-0 lead, and then just coast the rest of the way.
That's
what he want to do.
Now we want to run. Yeah.
And then now he want to run the ball. He want to get out. You want to get up so far. Like the Texas A&M game was really what Hugh Freeze offense wants to be. He want to put up big numbers early, and then the rest of the game just kind of sit back and just chill, and then maybe come out the second half and put up maybe another touchdown or 2, and then kind of close the game out then and stuff like that. But it's like, bro, like when you get in certain games, like, for example, when you get in games like the Oklahoma game, like when you get in those type of games to where it's close, you have to be able to have a running game. And then you saw it yesterday with Alabama, man. Alabama got the ball at like 12:01 or like 11:59 in the fourth quarter, and Auburn did not touch the ball again until it was like 3 minutes and 40-some seconds left in the game. Like, and that was the first time. Like, and everybody know Nick Sheridan and those guys, they want to throw the ball as much as they possibly can. And they systematically ran the ball down the field. They got 2 yards, 6 yards, 3 yards, 7 yards. They was just getting yards every here and there like that and taking their time. And it just wore down the defense.
Yes.
And I don't even think they scored on the drive, but what it did was it affected the game so much to where it took time off the clock, and it did not give Auburn the opportunity to even have a chance based on time, because you saw how the offense was moving in the game. It didn't get Auburn the opportunity, and for the rest of the game, to even try to mount a comeback. And then when you do get in a position to actually put some points on the board, you run a trick play. and just give up all the
Oh
momentum.
my God.
So I'm
Oh
just
my
sitting here
God.
like it's almost like you didn't want to win the game. That's what it
Yeah,
felt
man.
like. I'm just like, bro,
Oh
come
my
on,
God.
man. Like
The trick play was the backbreaker, man.
it just did not make any sense at all. Like nothing about this game plan, nothing about the play calling, nothing about on the offensive side of the ball just made sense at all. Like if you just saw Oklahoma run the ball against this same defense,
Yes,
right?
man. Please.
If you just saw them put up 300 yards rushing against this defense, if Cardinal Williams can go in there with a makeshift offense and put up 300 yards against that Alabama defense in 2021, excuse me, 2022, if he's able to go up there and do that in 2022 and put up 300 yards rushing against a makeshift offensive playbook and something that they were just putting together each week just to get by, if he able to do that. And you got the best running back in the conference or in college football, probably.
Yeah.
And he only touched the ball 13 times for 53 yards, 56 yards. Come on, bro.
That in itself, man. That in itself, you need to be in the office. Somebody need to take you in the office and reprimand you for that alone, man.
That's
for
what you
these
call
two
stubbornness.
games.
That's stubbornness.
Just I mean, like, bro, and I don't care about this RPO hocus pocus where we talking about we lined up and it was a run play and we optioned out of it because of the defense you set up, man. That's, to me, that is foolishness, man. Alabama knew Oklahoma was gonna run the ball. They couldn't stop it.
Exactly.
I'm sure they lined up to stop the run. I'm sure they lined up to make you check out of it. See, the difference is it's just like with Hugh Freeze with this run game, man. If we line up in a run set and if the defense say boo, he gonna be like, okay, well, we're not gonna run the ball. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like, bro, Alabama knew Oklahoma can only run the ball, man.
True, very true.
They were down 5 receivers, dude. Okay, when Oklahoma ran it in the first half, Alabama was like, okay, they're gonna try to run. They came out the second half and still couldn't stop it. So, bro, what that tells you, even though Alabama can line up and run sets, they'll stop it, here and there, but on a consistent level, they can't stop the run. Exactly. So you just run it regardless of what they line up in. That's what I don't like about Hugh Freeze's philosophy of I take what the defense gives me. No, sometimes you have to dictate to the defense what they're gonna take. Like Sam Pittman said at Arkansas when they played Georgia 2 years ago. He said, man, they ran the ball and they made us like it. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? They ran the ball and they made us like it. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes, dude, you can't sit and just be like, okay, so if you're playing a third grade team, if they come out and line up like they can stop the run, you just gonna check to something else because they lined up that way. And I just don't like that philosophy.
You at least got to test it to see what happened.
Yes.
And not just one time. You got to test it a couple times.
Yeah, we're gonna test this the whole game, boss.
You know what I'm
saying? If this can hold up the whole game. I'm running first quarter to fourth quarter, man. We running the ball.
And you know what? This right here validates my point in the Kentucky game.
Okay.
Because Jarquez Hunter had 278 yards rushing in the Kentucky game.
Yes.
And it validates my point of what I said after that game was if Brock Vandegrift did not play in that second half in the Kentucky game, and I'm sorry, I can't remember the quarterback's name, this backup quarterback. If he had not played in that if he had not played in that second half, Jarquez Hunter would not have had 278 yards rushing in the game.
I agree.
I'm just being honest with you. Because that quarterback, he was not a passing threat. He was just like, I mean, I think, like I said, I think in the second half, that quarterback went 0 for 6 on his first 6 passes. He was not a passing threat.
Wow.
So Hugh Freeze was looking at it like, oh, he can't throw the ball. Let's just keep getting with Jarquez Hunter. He gonna bust one. He gonna bust a couple of them. That's what happened.
And even in that, Nick, Hugh Freeze said that while Jarquez was running for all of those yards and the team was racking up 300 and some yards rushing, he said he wanted to throw the ball. He said he had to hold himself from throwing it because he wanted to throw it. But he was like, it was this temptation. He wanted to just throw the ball.
That's ridiculous.
And like I said, I go back to my man Tez, man. Tez said it. He said, man, it seemed like Hugh Freeze get bored with running the ball. It's not sophisticated enough for him.
Yeah.
But let me ask y'all this. Let me ask the chat this, man. Are y'all done with Hugh Freeze as a play caller? Period.
Yeah.
Or
I am.
You are?
Yeah. I'm over it. I'm over it, man. I mean, because this is the thing, and this is where I go back to last year, man. I go back to last year. Even though Peyton Thorne's production this year was better, last year in spurts it looked better. In my personal opinion. Now, at the beginning of the season, You know, the Cal game, it was rough, of course, there and stuff like that. But as the season went on, he had some good performance. He played really well against Georgia last year. Now I'm not talking about I'm talking about the 2023 season, ladies and gentlemen. 2023 season, he played pretty good. He played pretty good against Georgia, to where we were literally a touchdown away from actually having a chance to win that game. Well, really, we was Brock Bowers away from winning that game.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? I believe he had. I think he had an interception in that game, but the defense played pretty well in that game to keep us in the game as well too. He did enough to keep us in the game. Arkansas, he played lights out against Arkansas last year. So I look at it and I see what's going on, and I'm like, yo, like even in that season, even though the record was better than this year, of course, because we won 6 games. But this year, everything that was coming out in the offseason this year about him, Freeze, Austin, Nix, all them being in line, they lied to us. They played in our face and they lied to us. They lied to us. It looked so much when they condensed the playbook down to a more vanilla version and a more basic version. Peyton Thorne looked it was safe. It was safe. But it seemed as if Phillip Montgomery's offense probably worked better for Peyton Thorne than what Hugh Freeze wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? I'm just being completely honest with you. Just looking at season to season. We've had 2 full seasons of Peyton Thorne. Okay, and I see what he did this year, and I see what he did last year. And last year he won more games. Yeah, I'm just gonna be honest with it. Maybe it's by 1 game, but he won more games.
Sure.
But you see where the limitations of Peyton Thorne were this year, because what he does really well on the base offense, he does it really well. But what Hugh Freeze wants to do with the offense, with the big playability, that's not what Peyton Thorne's ability is. So I get why he did that. But that means you have to go out and you have to go get, if that's the question, you got to go out and get a system quarterback for your system every year. You got to be right every single time. Every time you get a quarterback, you got to be right every single time to go get that person. You know what I'm saying? And I know we talk about Nick Saban, but if you go look at Nick Saban had AJ McCarron, he had Greg McElroy, he had Tua Tagovailoa, he had Bryce Young. He had all these different guys that if you look at a spectrum of quarterbacks that are just different across the board. You see what I'm saying? And then he even went to a national championship game with a converted running back in Blake Sims.
Yeah. But see, the difference, and I'm gonna tell you the difference in Nick Saban and Hugh Freeze. What you just said is Nick Saban, he adjusted his system to the quarterback. Yeah. So when they had Bryce Young and Tua, they were running wide open, dude.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? But when they had McCarron, bro, they would run heavy.
They were run heavy, play action, play action.
Yeah. So he and Bright at what was the man name? Like you just said, that was the converted running back.
Blake Sims.
Yes. Yeah. It's just like every time they had a different quarterback, they just tweaked the system to fit the quarterback. Tweak the system to fit their personnel, and that's not what he's doing, man.
That's not what he freezes.
He's just hitting his head against the wall, saying,
"Exactly,
we're a wide open team. We are a Lincoln Riley team." He just hitting his head again. We're a Lincoln Riley team. Like, bro, stop it.
We were a Lincoln Riley team, but
we built like Alabama with
exactly.
We built like Stanford or the old Stanford. We built like Alabama with Derrick Henry. Them. That's how we built, man. Pre Julio Jones, or even the Julio Jones, they didn't really use him. They didn't use him like that.
They still had a dominant running back. They had Mark Ingram. Then you come back with Derrick Henry and those guys, man. Like the running game was always Eddie Lacy. You had the running game was always prevalent. With those teams. It was almost like we're gonna run the ball. And then we're gonna take the top off with Julio. And we're gonna give Julio some shots in the middle of the field to get some big chunk plays. Then we're gonna take the top off. We're running the ball.
Yeah,
and we're going to run the ball.
And when Lane Kiffin got there and they got more quarterback centric, then we added the receivers. Now we're wide open.
But they still had a running game.
Yeah, they still had a running
because Derrick Henry won the Heisman Trophy. He was that Lane Kiffin was there.
Unbelievable.
It makes it baffles me that everybody see what type of offense Lane Kiffin runs at Ole Miss, which hasn't changed much since he was at Alabama. And Derrick Henry, and everybody know Lane want to throw that thing down the field. He want to air it out and stuff like that. And Derrick Henry won the Heisman Trophy. He
Lane was the quarterback when Lane was the coach when Derrick Henry was there.
Derrick Henry was there in 2015.
Oh, I don't know, man. I don't know.
Let me see. Hold on. When was Lane Kiffin? Lane Kiffin.
Yeah. See the year, man. And why you doing that, man? I'm just saying, like, Auburn plays Duke this week, so everybody get ready. They go to Cameron Indoor, man. This is gonna be an awesome game.
Yes,
Lane Kiffin was the coach when Derrick Henry was there.
That's from 2014 to 2016. Lane Kiffin was the offensive coordinator.
And then, but Nick Saban was right there in his ear, like, man, we're not doing all that, man. We're not doing all that, man. We're not just like, and again, I think, and I keep saying this, I think Hugh Freeze, a big problem with Hugh Freeze is analytics, man. I think like you said, he need to feel the game and feel the flow of the game, man, with leaning on analytics, just like Lane Kiffin is doing and losing games. I was listening to some Ole Miss fans, and they were saying that with Lane Kiffin, if he would have just kicked the field goals in those games, they would be undefeated.
True.
That is unbelievable. This, what I'm saying, that is this dude. They just saying if he would have just took his field goals in each one of those games, Ole Miss would be undefeated. But this dude is leaning heavily into this analytics stuff, which can't feel the game. You know what I'm saying? It can't feel the difference between the Iron Bowl and playing Vanderbilt, man. You know what I'm saying? So Hugh Freeze, man. Okay, if I had to tell Hugh Freeze, I'm talking to you right now. I know you watching. Man, throw the analytics book away, Hugh. Please. Just throw it away, man. Coach like you coach pre-analytics book, man.
This is what I would say. This is what I would say if I was Hugh Freeze.
Oh yeah, talk to Hugh Freeze. He's watching. Talk to him next.
Yeah, if he watching, because last night he said he don't watch a lot of social media and stuff like that no more. He said it in his post game.
I just believe he watching us.
I hope so. This is what I would say to Hugh Freeze. I would say, listen, hey man, give up play calling.
He said give it up altogether. Golly, okay.
Give up play calling, bro. Okay. This is what you need to do.
Mm-hmm.
You need to go out and hire an offensive coordinator and let that offensive coordinator run the offensive side of the ball, like Philip Montgomery was trying to. That's what you need to do. Like DJ Durkin is. DJ Durkin basically said, look, it's my defense. I'm the CEO over here, the defense. I'm gonna run it, and you see how the defense is working. Now, if he had a complementary offense, this team would be a lot better. So Hugh Freeze, what you need to understand is you don't have to have your hand in every single thing. As long as you have a baseline knowledge of what's going on, that's good. Be the CEO of the team, man.
Be the
CEO. Go out there, shake hands, kiss the baby. Do all that. Let your coordinators run their particular sides of the ball. And I'm gonna tell you this. This may be an unpopular opinion. But if I was Hugh Freeze, and when Ohio State lose in the first round or the second round or the semifinals of the college football playoffs, the first person I'm calling is Ryan Day.
I agree. Okay. I'll go, man. I'll go Ryan Day. Man, I'll go Ryan Day. I'll go Chip Kelly. I'll go who I would take? Honestly, who I would take? Dana Holgorsen.
That's not a bad pick.
He went to went to the Big Ten too. He went to the Big Ten.
In Nebraska?
Nebraska, yeah. I'll take Dana Holgorsen too. I'll take Dana Holgorsen.
I mean, just listen, man. You see what Gus did. Gus was trying to be the OC and head coach. You know what I'm saying? Even though he had somebody in place that was the OC title, Gus was calling plays. Everybody knows that. He did that with Rhett Lashley
And we see what's happening with Rhett Lashley. Why is Rhett Lashley so successful? And this is me and the King was talking about this, is like in the comments. I'm like, Rhett has taken his offense, man, and added to it, and he's more successful than Gus was. So maybe Gus should have let Rhett Lashley call the plays himself and just let him have it. And that dude went to UConn, took a demotion to be like, okay, this is me by myself.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Basically.
Now look what I'm doing. So if
look where he at.
Man, if this dude win next week, man, he'll win the ACC championship, man.
Yeah. And that's a guaranteed spot in the playoff.
And Auburn could have, and I don't know why he left under what circumstance, but think about it. Auburn had that dude as their OC at one point in time. Think about this. Arizona State, bro, they are in the running for the Big 12 championship. Auburn had him at he had Bo Nix in the Heisman seat. In a Heisman seat. So think about that. You had him as your OC under Gus too.
Yep.
and we were struggling on offense. Like, make sense, dude.
It's this thing of, and I believe, like, I wholeheartedly believe it's this thing where people want the credit.
Yeah.
For everything. And my thing is this, bro. Listen. If you are able to, I think it's more important, in my personal opinion, in this particular sense of the word, I think it's more important if you are able to create a coaching tree. Like, for example, you know how Ty always talking about something. They came to the Capstone Coaching Clinic.
Coaching Clinic, yes.
Listen. What makes Saban great? Saban was a defensive guy, but he coached defensive backs. It's not like he was out here saying, like, I'm the best defensive coordinator, which he technically was, because he did that, but he never touted it. He brought in coaches. He had a system, and he said, look, this is what I want to do. This is what I want to do on offense. This is what I want to do on defense. Tailor that around what I want to do, because this is how we win. Coaches come in, do that, they win, and guess what? Coaches end up being head coaches of the other places. If you are able to produce coaches out of your coaching tree, that means you're successful, because now people look at you as like a guru.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? Yes, instead of you trying to take all the credit, if you got Kent Austin there, right? Maybe Kent Austin sees something different than what you want to do in the offense. Maybe Derek Nick sees something that he want to do different than what you want to do in the offense. If you are able to produce and build up young coaches like that in these coordinator positions, and then these guys go off and become head coaches, and they are successful other places, what's to think that a young and up and coach from somewhere that's like, oh snap, I'm a quality control coordinator somewhere at Purdue, saying, look, I can go to Auburn. I can probably become the wide receivers coach, tool up on him for a minute. I can probably get promoted to an OC position, get my style up underneath there a little bit, and then boom, I got a head coach job. UCF, Memphis, somewhere. I'm a head coach now. And now I'm building up my, like, if you can produce coaches coming from up under you, I think that's the greatest. I think it's the greatest. But I think people want to take the credit. Not knowing if you're able to do that, the credit is gonna come to you anyway, because people gonna look at you like you know what you're doing.
Yeah, great point, man. Great point. That ain't what we got though, bro.
No, not at all.
With the comments, y'all tell us, man, have y'all given up on Hugh Freeze? I'm gonna give him another year, because, like, again, he's, to me, stubborn with his philosophy. He's not gonna adjust the offense to fit his philosophy. He's gonna make his philosophy king at Auburn. That's what it looks like. So I want to see him with his receivers. Hopefully we can retain these receivers in the next few weeks, because we got, and y'all tune in, man. Tune in. It's about to get interesting and exciting, because we got basketball. To me, in my opinion, we should be number one in basketball with our resume, and especially if we knock off Duke, we will be number one. Number two, man, we got National Signing Day coming up next week on the 4th. Then after that, man, the transfer portal open up.
This
man, y'all tune in Auburn News today, man. This is about to be wild.
These next 45 to 60 days are about to be interesting.
Crazy. Then we go into that, man. We got the off season. Then the transfer portal open up for 30 days, man. Then we going into the original National Signing Day, which probably a lot won't happen. Yeah. Then we go right into spring, man. So, bro, hey, man, y'all, we got this is the time you thought you could throttle down, man. It's about to get exciting. It's about a lot of stuff about to happen, man. Y'all tune in to Auburn News today. Hey, let me ask you this before we go to it. Do we win against Duke, man? What's your thought? What's your gut feeling? At Duke.
Man, that's Cameron Indoor is a tough place to play. Based on what Auburn got, Auburn's a big team. They can play inside and outside as well, pretty well. I'm gonna go Auburn, man. Yeah, I think Auburn get the W.
Hey, chat, what y'all think? Y'all check in. Y'all tell us what y'all think, man. And if I can get like I said, if we're doing happy hour or something at the wedding, you know how to have the space between the wedding and then the reception, the little
cocktail hour.
Yeah, you had a nice one, Nick.
It was all right.
It was nice, man.
It was all right. It's funny. She wouldn't let. I don't know why she wouldn't let people in. I'm not talking about my wife.
Okay. The wedding person.
Yeah, yeah, she had everybody sitting outside. I was like, man, let them folks here, man. What y'all talking about? Them folks sit down, man.
So you know you have that period. So hopefully in that period, man, I'll be somewhere. I'll be like even in the chat too, you know what I'm saying, talking to you guys about it. But yeah, tell me if y'all think we win against Duke. I think we win against Duke, man, because I think the Iowa State, the way they played defense against us in the beginning of that game, we kind of struggled a little bit, which was good. So we had to work ourselves out of that, man. So they had 7 turnovers in the Iowa State game in the beginning of the game. So hopefully that when the pressure that comes at the beginning of that game, they have been battle tested. So I think because of that, I think Auburn wins that game in Duke, man, and we become the #1 team in the United States. Chat, what do you think, man? Nick, where can they find you, man? I love the shirt, man.
Yeah, man, appreciate it, man. Shout out to DC. Water Cooler Talk. If y'all can't see it, that's the merch. That's it. Well, it ain't merch. It's just, you know, we got a shirt made.
Yeah, that's it. That's
Water Cooler Talk podcast in these YouTube streets. Live every Wednesday, 8:30 Eastern, 7:30 Pacific. Central, 7:30 Central, PM. Like I said, man, Auburn has a lot of stuff that's about to happen within the next 45 to 60 days. So we're gonna be trying to pump out a lot of content coming in with the recruiting, with the transfer portal, which is gonna be interesting. I just read something somewhere where I think I know who the QB might be. They point sign somewhere, so we'll see what happens.
But when we get on it,
we'll hold that.
We'll hold that next week. Yeah, y'all come back next week, man. Y'all come back next week.
What's up? But now, as you go hit the subscribe, hit the notification bell. Water Cooler Talk podcast, man. We here every week, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, and we are usually live, man. Like I said, I got a wedding today. Had to put this out early, but also, man, y'all check the on both channels, man. Check the video side because you have content on the video side, you have content on the live side, you have content in the short side, man. So it's 3 categories where you can get content. We are usually live, and I know a lot of people tune into the lives, but tune into the video side too. We'll be dropping content, especially during National Signing Day. We'll be dropping content on both sides. So y'all tuning in. Y'all can find me at all platforms under at Auburn Addicts, at Auburn_Addicts. You see it right there on all platforms, and we will see you. We're coming back, Nick. No game Saturday, so we'll be back next week.
Yeah.
I have to deal with the Alabama fan on, you know, Iron Bowl debate on Wednesday. That's as usual. We'll keep that going, and then we'll see you next week on Sunday, man. But have you heard? War Eagle, y'all.